the jungle gyms where the work never ends. Off-grid living with our family and friends. We got houseboats to build and tractors to mend. Join the journey, let the adventure begin. From the four-wheelers we're fixing to tiny house dreams. Every day's a challenge, but it's sweeter than it seems. Downsizing.
Well, good morning. It's a nice, cool, comfortable morning already out there this morning. That's what I love about this time of year. You know, and up here it's even nicer than Florida, because you know, Florida this time of year, you're waking up and it's already 90 degrees, 85, 90 degrees in October. So, you know, and for those of you in Florida, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I can remember there's been many mornings we'd get up at, you know, first part of October like this and wake up and it's already 80 degrees and so humid and everything that you couldn't, you know, that you were already sweating walking around outside. Every now and then you get a nice cool morning that you could walk around, the humidity's low, but that's pretty much it. But today I am gonna get out here and finish working on this, y'all. I'm gonna get this dirt moved and get it piled up over there and spread that wet stuff out right there, and so it'll dry better. Looks like our rain chances dropped way off again, so hopefully we won't be getting bombarded by any rain. And sorry, something was biting me. That old burned bugs. But get that done, see if I can fill in this hole. Or no, actually no, I'm not gonna fill in this hole. This hole is gonna get dug out, so I'm gonna push that back, because I was just looking at that and like, wow, okay, yeah, I ain't gonna fill in that hole. But look at the water just come up out of the ground, y'all. Isn't that crazy? Just coming up out of the ground. So, and I know it ain't coming from that pond, because that that pond ain't draining. Pond ain't going down other than just normal evaporation. So, you know, I don't know. So anyway, we're gonna finish digging this out and we're gonna get the J pond defined today. And then hopefully this weekend I'm gonna go over and start getting some shale for all this out here, y'all. So that's what the plan is. And of course my right front tire, or left front tire, looking at the right and saying the right, left front tire is low again this morning, so I got to get over there and air it up. It's probably just about flat, but you can see right here, you can see where it's leaking, where it didn't set on the bead very well. But let me get over here and get that aired up. Let's get this dirt moved and let's get the gem pond ready to go, because I'm ready to open that section up over there, over that deep section, and let this water drain into there, and then start getting my depth going on there. I really want to get this real deep right in here, right in there where you see that turtle playing right there, and right in there, that's real deep. That's probably 12 foot deep right there, easy. Let's see. I didn't know if you could see the turtle playing in there or not. I don't know if he's playing or eating or whatever he's doing, but he's making a lot of ruckus in the water. It's gonna be nice. You know, a lot of some of you were talking about getting it real deep for the fish and what have you, so they're gonna have shade, but in the summertime when it's real hot, so the water doesn't cook them. But I plan on pumping this, y'all, putting a pump on this and letting this do its thing that way. That way it'll some shady spots will stay extra cool for the fish, and they'll have their deep spots. You know, plus I'd like to figure out some way to get some kind of shelter underneath the water for them, you know what I mean? So that, you know, like put some trees down inside there or something like that, some logs down inside there, so you know, when the baby fish are coming around, you know, they've got a little place to hide out. And who knows what kind of plants will grow in there at some point. You never know. So let's get that going, and I'm gonna set y'all up, and we'll get started on this. All right, so let's go. All right, well, you see this big pile we got going on here. So I got her about as deep as I can go, because now I'm into rock. And you can see some of the big rocks that I'm starting to pull up out of there. So I think we're gonna stop at that depth right there. Now that is about, oh, she's about 7 feet, 8 feet or so. So like I said, I think we're gonna stop about that depth there, and I am gonna start making the J, the hook and the J right there now. But this is a good wide spot right here, and as you can see here, we got the line going on around here. So now I'm gonna start hooking that right there at that corner right there. I'm gonna start hooking that around into that right there. I'm basically taking that edge right there and just going just on the other side of that wet spot right there. And then I still gotta cut this line right here a little smoother, make it look prettier. And I've also got to come over there and widen out the top of that part of that J. So in the meantime, I'm gonna come over here And I'm gonna try and move this, push this, all this stuff that I pulled out of the edge of the road over here, you know, along the ditch line there and piled up into the driveway. I'm gonna try and move it out of the way. And even if I just gotta push it over here in the yard for now, until David can come over and get a hold of it with a grapple. But you know, getting a bunch of dirt built up in here, so I do want to bring this up quite a bit more, so that and then smooth it all out. But this pile right here, I want to drag it back. I think I'm just going to push it back over here, back over there against that little green part right there. Again, just till David can get over here with the grapple and get it out of the way completely. Then I want to come over here and smooth this out right here. You see I got one pipe laying in there, so I'm going to try and just smooth that out right through there to where I can get it over here to the other side of the drive. Yeah, right about where the rock stops right there. I think that's going to be just about 3 pipes wide, which would be perfect. So if I can just get this down about that deep right there, just so the water can flow through it, you know, if the excess hits it, and then that water, I can finish cleaning up all that right there and get that to where it's a decent looking drain, you know, so to speak. At least a decent looking ditch, should I say. And then I still got more dirt to fill in here. So my goal pretty much over the next week or so is to get the J pond ready, done, and get this driveway set up for all the shale, prepared for all the shale, because then I'm going to start dumping load as many buckets as I can get over here. I mean, granted, with Bertha, a truckload is about 10 buckets or so, maybe more. So if I can get that much, you know, get 2 or 3 dump truck loads basically in here, so about 30 bucket loads in here, I should be able to go all the way up to the shop up there. And that'll make it real nice for the winter time, especially once I get a vehicle, you know. I'll be able to drive up in here and not have to worry about it. So that's what the goal is. Get the J pond done and get all this prep for rock. So let's see if we can make the goal happen. All right, well, typical of my work. So it's thought the camera was recording the whole time. It wasn't recording. So we got a bunch more dirt piled in here. I've been taking it out of that big pile over there, but raising the driveway up quite a bit. I did manage to get the pipe in the ground over here, and it's buried now. So again, I'll bring tow truck over here and smooth this all out. But then I'll just dig a little hole. Well, you can see there's a little hole, little tiny hole right there. So I'll just kind of smooth that out right there with the backhoe at some point here real soon. And that water can come down here, it can sit in here and do its thing and go out the other side. But it's in there, and it's all the way across the road, bringing all of this up high, so that way I can put the mat down and put the shale in here and have a nice high and dry driveway. Because this is going to be my primary driveway right here. I'm going to privacy fence that one off over there by the barn, and that way just using this driveway only. So that's the plan. And so looking, it's so nice. You can see the island now from this side a little bit better, a little more defined. I'll probably cut this a little bit wider right there around this side of the island. Just make it a little more defined, make it look a little better. It looks like it goes a little too close to the island there, so I'd like it a little bit wider, just so you can't just go jumping out on there, you know what I mean? So This way, you only get one way to get in there, and that's the bridge. So that's the plan there. So anyway, let's see what we can do about all that. Again, slowly but surely, just working on it a little bit at a time. So as you've seen the video from David's, from Bertha's point of view, I thought it was very cool. A little sketchy at times, but very cool. We made it happen a lot smoother than I thought it was going to. I really thought it was going to be a lot more headache to it, but you know, it worked out good. And I don't know what she's throwing a fit about over there, other than she got caught trying to sneak out the yard and now she's mad. Yeah, she's spoiled. But I got this good and deep, and Joe suggested I just cut me a shallow trail in here and just drive down in there and get it deeper. And I can dig it deeper from up here. That's not the issue. I just don't know how much deeper I want to go with it, you know, because I am hitting that big rock right now. And then Joe said, well, I'll take all that big rock. I want to build something. So I'm like, brother, there is no shortage of rock around here, I promise you. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I'm debating on it, whether I want to do that or not. But I do want to get more of this dug out so it comes out and around right to here and makes my little hook for the J. At least make it a little more defined. And but I need a drink right now, y'all. Here it is, October, and it's hot. It's like 90 degrees out here. So granted, there's a nice little breeze here, but it's still hot. So I'm gonna go take me a cold drink break, and I'll be back and we'll get some more done. Alright, that looks a lot better. A lot smoother. Still need some more in here, I think. Some more dirt in here. And some finessing, so to speak. I still gotta let all that over there dry out a little bit more, y'all, before I try to hit any of that over there. Really need Bertha in there to knock down the high stuff so that tow truck can get in there and do her thing. But you see where this that pile right there ends right there. So I'm going to cut that corner back, and I'm going to bring it back over to about these tracks to widen that out a little bit and make this more defined as a J. And so we'll get there. In the meantime, got a couple of serious bumps in the road. Being I don't drive the road, I didn't know, so you know, I figured I'm gonna take a load of dirt over there and run tow truck through there just to smooth it out a little bit for the post lady. So anyway, let me get to that. And I don't know how much more we're gonna get done for the day, but we're gonna keep going until I can't go no more. All right, so I'll see you in a short. Now look at this amazing sight. Out here doing his thing, being good. Yeah, not running off. He's been out here with me for the last hour or so. And I've actually been on the tractor and what have you, and he hasn't taken off one single bit. Just goes to show you a little training. But yeah, I got out here and fixed this road a little bit, and driveway's looking a lot better. And I will put some more shale down in here and rock that. But yeah, I smoothed some of those big holes out there, and a couple of big holes over here that were getting pretty rough. So the mail lady will be happy now that she can pull in the driveway over here and turn around. But considering where we came from 18 months ago, I don't think we're doing too bad. I think we're doing pretty sweet. Well, anyway, I like it. The J pond is almost there. I got to get some more fuel before I push that. And here I just bragged about him staying in the yard. Now he's trying to go out in the field, y'all. Come on. Come on. That's not your yard. Good boy. Come on. Yep. He was trying. At least he wasn't being the butthead that he usually is and just bolts and just takes off as fast as he can go. At least he's listening now. Yeah, good boy. So anyway, I think we're gonna get over here and we're gonna sit down and take a break. I've had enough for the day. Man, tell you what, getting old ain't for the weak, y'all. I'm telling you right now, getting old ain't for the weak. You gotta be tough, that's for sure. But you know, I think we all just get tougher as we go. You know, some of us just lay down and quit. I don't. I'm not going to. And don't you either, you know. If you're thinking about just laying down and quitting, don't do it, man. Get up there and exercise that body somehow and get those parts to work and move. And I promise you, you'll feel a lot better. It may suck right at first, but I promise you, it does get better. So, here we go. I'll give you a quick view. And we're gonna keep moving on it, y'all. All right, well, I decided to call it a day. And hope y'all enjoyed that video over there at David's. That was a very interesting little trip, making that thing happen. But I wanted to show you this big pile of dirt that I had piled up out here. Just goes to show you, the dirt doesn't go as far as you think. You know, but I still got a lot more to dig, so I'll probably have 2 or 3 more of them piles up here by the time it's done. And maybe more than that, because I still got to dig this part of the pond out. You know, like all of this right through here is all real shallow. All the way to about right there across here, it's pretty shallow. So I got to dig all that out deeper. I'd like to get it as deep as this one over here, and go from there. But Shorty came by a little while ago. Her and Mary stopped by to see the dogs and see me and say hi and all that kind of good stuff. And Shorty loves the island, so we're gonna do something cool with it. I don't know, you know, like I said, I got a few ideas in my head, working on that. But again, I just wanted to show you that dirt right there. Didn't go very far at all, you know, by the time I got all that smoothed out and leveled out over there. But I brought all that up, you know, quite a bit over there, so I should be good to go next time it rains. They found a frog that jumped over there. So they're trying to get it now. Crazy dogs. So anyway, it's a beautiful night. Still a little warm out here. Sun's starting to kick out here pretty still. I say starting to kick. The sun's kicking just a little bit out here. Good Lord, words are hard, y'all. Just like listen to White Rock. Words are hard. So again, tomorrow I'm gonna go get some fuel, and we're gonna knock the rest of this out right here, and get that hook put in the J, and then then I can start releasing this water over here, and then I can, once I get all this water in the deep spot down here, y'all, then I can start digging that out over there. Give that a couple days to dry out, and I can start digging that out. So that way I don't have just mud piled up over there trying to dry out for a week, 2 weeks. So it ought to be very cool to watch it flow. So when it happens, it's going to be very, like I said, it's going to be very cool to watch it flow and fill in over here. So I'm kind of excited about that too. But again, we're going to get the hook started right there at the corner. You're going to start hooking around now and get our hook over here. Probably going to be just about this wide as it is right there, right across there. Probably going to be just about that wide coming around here, and then I'll open it up, and I'm hoping to get some drone video of that. I haven't been able to fly the drone in a while because the app kept shutting down, and so I'm hoping that that'll work, so we can get some aerial footage of this when it happens. I think it'll be very cool to watch. So anyway, in the meantime, I think it's cold snack time, and take a chill pill, sit and play with the dogs a little bit. Well, watch the dogs play with the frogs a little bit, and then I think we're gonna call it a night. So in the meantime, we will see you all tomorrow. All right, y'all, as you can see, we got it going on out here. The hook, I should say, is now starting to be defined. So what I've decided to do is I am going to dig this out a little bit more right here. You see that steep ditch there, and I'm going to shave this off right through here, but I'm going to bring this up so it gradually comes up this way up to there. So this way, in case the dogs ever fall off in there, jump off in there chasing a frog like this one right here likes to do, they'll have an escape route, you know what I mean? They'll be able to walk up out of here. And it also helps everything drain down right through there. So it's getting there. I am going to get over there and cut some of that, more of that back over there along that line there. But I want to show you one other thing here real quick. I want to show you what I'm doing with all the dirt. Who can guess what I'm doing with all that dirt? Yeah, I'll bet you guessed. House pad. Yes, that's what it's doing. I am going to be pushing that stuff back. I mean, burning that stuff down there and then pushing this back, and then the rest of this will get filled in right through here. But yeah, all of this is going to be house pad. And yeah, it's going to be somewhat close to the pond, but you know, that's okay. I think it's going to be very cool. Pond is huge, and I'll probably end up taking some more of them trees out right there and just letting it do its thing. But then, you know, all this stuff is going to get moved back there to the back. So this will be my front yard pretty much right through here. So that'll be nice. And then I'll still have the view, some of the view of the mountains, you know, once I put the privacy fence up along there. So yeah, going to go sweet. I can't wait. So in the meantime, I think we're gonna call it a day, because it is almost 5 o'clock, y'all. I've been running the pea waddle out of Bertha today, trying to get this dug, and we're going. All right, so don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see y'all soon.